Hey viewers, welcome back to Wes's Corner. Hope everybody's doing okay this evening. Today I want to discuss something a little bit different. We're going to go into the subject of mental health today, like we do a lot of the time. But I want to touch on something that we haven't really touched on, and that's dealing with grief. What is grief? Well, it's a feeling of sadness, loss, confusion caused by an event or a series of events that can negatively affect a person. It is how we cope. It's a complicated topic, honestly. So, what makes grief so complex? Why is it so difficult to describe? Well, it really isn't difficult to describe. You know it when you see it. You can kind of put it into words, but how we feel when we experience grief is a whole other matter. How we process that is a whole other matter because everybody processes grief differently. And this can kind of go hand in hand with my video from yesterday on coping mechanisms, which I'll leave a link to. The thing is, we do all deal with it differently. And the amount of time it takes to deal with grief and process it varies from individual to individual. Some people will get over their grief within days. Some people, it takes years. Almost 3 years ago, I lost my uncle. He was almost like a second father to me. Even maybe a third father. Because, my dad was around growing up. We lived far apart from each other, and I love him. He's a wonderful dad, as is my stepdad. But me and my uncle and I, we had a very, very close relationship. For many years, he was the most present adult male figure in my life. And even to this day, it is hard to talk about him or think about him without getting choked up. Right now, I'm doing okay with it, but I loved him a lot, and he was taken suddenly. And that's the thing, when we lose somebody, that's a special kind of grief. Whether it's a parent, a sibling, a child, another relative, a close friend, a coworker, or a neighbor, even a pet. Your home, your car, any one of those losses can bring out grief, sadness, pain. It might be a mental hurt, but you feel it physically. Your stomach twists, your heart hurts. You cry until you can't cry anymore. Your ribs hurt from crying. You become physically ill from the grief that you're experiencing from a loss. And what do we do when we go through something like that? Well, we keep going on. We keep moving forward. Because whatever has set us back, or whoever we have lost, wouldn't want us to be sad or stuck in a rut. They wouldn't want to see us hurting over our loss. Now, of course, that doesn't apply to something not sentient like your house or your car. But I guarantee you, if you lost your brother, your mother, your father, your son, or your daughter, they, of course, would want you to have a grieving period, but they would want you to push past it, to fight. Because we, as people, are strong. We are fighters. And we can fight through tragedy. It's hard. It sucks. It's shitty. Knowing that we have to go on in life without someone or something that we've held very dear, especially if it was for a long period of time. If you lose a parent and you're already an adult in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, someone that has been present most likely for your whole life, just like that, go on. How do you move past it? It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of strength. So, if you are dealing with grief, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to mourn your loss. Even if it's not a death, if it's cutting somebody off or they cut you off. If it's a breakup, a divorce, a best friend breakup. It's okay to take some time to recover from that. But it is also okay to move on from that. You're never going to get over the pain, most likely. It's always going to be there a little bit. Maybe not always, maybe not for everybody. Sometimes some of these things are for the good, for the better. If you found yourself in a toxic relationship and got out of it, sure, I mean, if you were together with them for a long time, you might have a grieving period, but you're going to be better off afterwards. If you lose a family member who was toxic, narcissistic, gaslit, and abused you, you're going to mourn their death. But at the same time, you're not going to have to suffer that anymore. There will be relief later on. It will happen. You can get through anything. I know you can. We are built tough. We are built strong. And nothing keeps us down forever. But if you are struggling, please reach out. Reach out to a crisis counselor, a grief counselor, a friend, a family member, a coworker. You can reach out to me in confidence. I might not be certified or licensed in anything, but I am an ear that will listen. And I don't want to see you suffer. Okay, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to be notified of future updates and videos from Wes's Corner. That's all for this video. Join me tomorrow for my next video where I discuss autistic representation in media. Once again, thank you for visiting Wes's Corner. Goodbye.